Check this out.
Dubai, London, Toronto, Shanghai, Nairobi. At first glance, they seem completely different. Different cultures, different languages, different histories. But zoom in just a little, the coffee shops look familiar. The apartment buildings look familiar. The shopping malls, airports, office towers, even the restaurants start feeling strangely interchangeable. It's almost as if every city is slowly becoming the same place. So what happened? The answer isn't that architects suddenly ran out of ideas. It's that modern cities have all been solving the exact same problems. For most of human history, cities looked unique because they evolved slowly. They were shaped by local materials, local climates, and local traditions. If you lived near forests, buildings were made from timber. If you lived near mountains, they were built from stone. In hot climates, thick walls kept interiors cool. In rainy regions, steep roofs helped water run off. Every decision reflected the environment around it, but the Industrial Revolution changed everything. Steel could now be manufactured almost anywhere. Concrete became cheap. Glass production exploded. Suddenly, architects weren't limited by whatever happened to exist nearby. They could build almost anything. Then came elevators.
I made this animation in just a few minutes, and no, I didn't use After Effects, Blender, Higgsfield, or even Remotion. I actually created a plugin with its own connector to simplify the entire process. The best part is that it comes with 3 different ways of creating these Vox-style animations. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create motion graphics like this without touching any motion graphics software. The reason most of us have never tried documentary-style content like Vox makes is the skill barrier. This stuff normally takes years of motion design experience, but not anymore. You can now give AI your script, and it handles the visual styles, the animations, even the timing. Yes, AI can time the visuals with the voiceover almost perfectly. Now, the first approach I'll be teaching you mostly involves about 95% AI. Normally, we'd fully automate something like this, but it's advisable to join the clips yourself, just in case the voiceover doesn't sync perfectly in some areas. For this style, the AI will actually create the images, show you the result, and if everything looks good, it'll go ahead and do the animation. This way you don't end up with something random. Now, if you don't want AI to do the animation, here's where the second approach comes in. The system will only generate the images, and then separate elements from that image, making it easier for you to combine them to create your own video. What happens is that you get more control over exactly what you want. We'll go over that too. Then there's the third approach, which is honestly the easiest. Instead of generating images and then animating them, the AI will create the video clips directly from your script. We'll look at that too. This may seem complicated, but I'm actually going to simplify the entire process. You only need to hit a few buttons, type a few words if necessary, and the full video will be ready. If you want access to the plugin that makes all of this possible, head over to my school or Discord communities and download it for free. And you should be ready to follow along this process. Links to both communities will be in the video description. Guys, this really took a lot of work to create, so I'd appreciate a like if you find the video helpful. Now, the installation process is pretty straightforward. We'll be using Claude for this, so make sure it's open and then head over to Settings. Under Customize, you'll see Skills, Connectors, and Plugins. The one you want is Plugins. Select it, and you'll be given these options here. Browse is for when you want to use one of the plugins Claude has made available. But in this case, we want to add our own, so you need to click Add, then Upload Plugin. You can even create your own plugin if you want to. And the best part is that Claude will guide you through the entire process. Creating some of these things may seem difficult or look like a lot of work, but it usually doesn't take that long. Claude will guide you through most of it and create everything. You just need to do a lot of testing and iterating to make sure it gets exactly what you want right. Once you click Upload, it tells you that you need to trust the plugin before installing it. There's no need to worry. The plugin is free of any bugs. It's just a simple plugin to carry you through the process. Nothing complicated. I'm not going to add it since it's already installed. It's the one named Vox Video Pipeline. If you click on it, you'll see it has 2 skills in here, and there's a connector as well. At any point in time, you can disable the plugin just by toggling this off. You can also customize it by clicking Customize. Once the plugin is fully installed, make sure Cowork is selected instead of Chat. The Chat option will only call the skill without access to the connector, which we need to enable Claude to actually generate the video. So make sure Cowork is selected. Then call the plugin by typing /. That brings up all your skills and plugins, so the Vox Explainer pipeline will be visible as well. Select that and then hit Enter to run it. Claude will go ahead, build out the full flow, and launch the skill. The AI will design this simple interface. It's just something to make the initial step easier. The first thing it wants you to do is upload a time-stamped script. Now, this is not just any script. You need to create your script and make sure there are timestamps on it. The timestamps help the system know the best time for each part of the audio, so it can better place and create your animations. To get the timestamps, you need need to make sure you have your voiceover file ready. You can generate that with any text-to-speech tool. Once you have your voiceover ready, tools like Whisper and others can help you come up with the timestamps for it. Here's the thing. If you only have a script, the AI has no way of determining that. At, say, 1 minute 20 seconds, this is what's being said. It can't figure that out because the voice you choose factors into the speed of your voiceover. Instead, what timestamping does is take your voiceover, convert it to text, and identify that at 2 seconds. This is the word that was used, or at 1 minute and 10 seconds. This is the sentence being said at that particular point in the voiceover. 11 Labs has a badass feature for this, so feel free to use that. Make sure you have your voiceover audio file already created. Then go to speech to text, transcribe files, and drag in your voiceover file. As you can see, mine has been imported here. Leave these check marks as they are. For the language, you can leave it on auto detect or choose it yourself. I'm just going to select English. Turn off tag audio events if there are no exclamations, laughter, or anything beside the typical narration. Then just go ahead and upload the file. Obviously, this is going to cost you some credits, but not too much. Once upload is done, it's going to process everything and proceed to convert your voiceover into text. However, you'll notice that if you look at the generated transcript, it doesn't show any timestamps. That's not a problem. 11 Labs will add it during export. Depending on what you choose, you can export as text, PDF, doc, JSON, HTML, or SRT. What we're going to do is go with JSON. It's going to ask whether you want to include timestamps as well as speakers. Since we only have a single speaker in the voiceover, make sure that's unchecked. While timestamps remain checked, it'll go and download the file to your computer. Now, if you open that file with your favorite text editor, you'll see it has the entire script up here at the top. Then there's the start time and the end time for the script. This one is about 70 seconds. And for every single word, there's a start time and an end time. As you can see, if I click on a word, it shows exactly where that word is. Now, I'm going to close this and head back to Claude. Make sure you upload the JSON file and come down and choose the kind of video you're looking for. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to show you 3 ways of doing this. The first one involves the AI generating the images and then proceeding to animate it. This works just fine, but it gives you a different style of result. So if something like this works perfectly for you, make sure you choose that. Then there's the second option, which uses Meta's Segment Anything Model 2, or simply put SAM2, to split individual images into different objects for you to manually compile inside your favorite video editor. Obviously, this option requires a bit more work than the previous one, but you also get better control over your final results. There's an option to combine both, but that's not really necessary most of the time, so we'll jump to the last option, which is actually generating full clips directly from text. This one is pretty straightforward, as it doesn't require creating images first before animating them or splitting any images into elements. We'll go over all 3, so you see the kind of results they each produces. Let's start with the first one. You can let the AI choose the exact visual style to use, or present you with some options to choose from. I created the plugin with some specific visual styles in mind, so feel free to look through the options that it presents before you decide on the ones that you want. You can choose multiple for your video. In this case, I'm just going to leave the selection to the AI. Then, choose how dense you want your visuals. That's how much of the script each image should cover. So maybe you want an image every 5 to 15 seconds. This range is pretty wide, so it gives Claude a lot of room to decide. You can also choose the style of content you're creating, whether long or short form. Once that's done, click Continue, and Claude will set everything up for you. What it's going to do is go through a bunch of processes. If you look at the right, you'll notice the progress is shown there every step of the way. The first step, which we're currently on, like it says, is parsing the script and building the shot list. It looks at the script and builds the necessary shots from it. The AI gets to decide how many beats it's going to break your script into. That's essentially how many images you're going to end up with. In this case, it says it's split everything into 12 shots. So we're going to end up with 12 images. Each shot will last approximately 5 to 8 seconds of the video. And if you look here, these are the styles it has chosen for the script. The primary one is a cutout collage style, which it's going to use for 9 of the 12 shots. Then there's kinetic typography and a map animation for 1 shot as well. If you come down here, these are the 12 shots it's given us, broken down one by one with their durations. This first one is 4.6 seconds. When you move down, it's asking whether you want to proceed with the prompts or if you want to make changes. Feel free to recommend any changes. But in this case, let's proceed to the next step. What it does is create 12 image prompts, one for each shot. shot. And if you come down, you'll see there's a style block appended. These style blocks get added to each of the prompts. Each is appended to the shots that use that style. Now you can approve this, and the AI will present you with the various image generators that are currently available to choose from. The system is built to integrate 4 of these: Nano Banana Pro, Nano Banana 2, Seedream 4.5, and Grok Imagine. You get to choose whichever one you want to go with. It's honestly all up to you. In this case, I'm just going to choose Nano Banana 2, and what's going to happen is the system will generate all the images on its own. But first, it's going to ask you for an API key to key.ai, mostly because it uses key to generate the images. If you don't know what key is, they aggregate a bunch of these AI models and make their APIs available. So, programmers, or anyone who needs an API for some of these models, can easily access them through their platform. So go to key.ai and create an account. Once you're in, you'll notice there's an API key section here. Go there and create your API key. Just click this, give it a name. I'll just name it Vox and create the key. Now you can copy the key and close the pop-up. Before you go ahead and paste it inside the app, you need to add some credits to the system. Image generation doesn't cost much. You can just purchase about $5. That's about 1,000 credits. The video generation part is where it gets costly. So if you have the funds and you want to produce really good results, you may need to top up a bit more than that. Once you've topped up your balance, all you need to do now is come back here and paste your API key. As long as you have enough credits on Key, the system will go ahead and make the calls to Key, submitting all the prompts, and use that to generate the images for you. You don't need to do anything yourself. It submits every single one of them. And the good news is that if any of the calls fails, it will retry that particular call to make sure you get the results you need. Image generation doesn't take too long. A couple of minutes is more than enough to generate everything and retrieve all the results back from Key. So you don't need to worry too much. Once it's done, the system will go ahead and download all your results for you. The only thing it asks of you is this notification. Give it permission. Claude will go ahead and save all the files on your computer. Now, if you look here, you'll see it's generated all of the images. In case you want to identify the exact place that the files are saved, simply click this folder option and it will open the output folder for you. This is where all the images were saved, and these are some of the images it created. Check them out. They look like something you'd see in a VOX-Style video. From here, it's up to you how you want to proceed. It asks whether you want to regenerate any of them or move on to video. In this case, we're going to move on to the video generation. It's going to create the video prompts. Now, obviously, videos are going to cost more than the images, and the price difference can be quite large depending on the model that you choose for your generation. Seedance 2 does an excellent job for this style of animation, but if you don't want to spend a lot of cash animating the images, you can just move forward using the second process, which we'll be going through very soon. This style is the easier option. Claude has generated all the prompts needed for the shots. It created every one of them, plus the style blocks it will add to each prompt. Approve, and it's going to set up the generation for you. The best part about this is that when it sends a request, it specifies the duration. Since it already knows how long each clip should be, it specifies the exact duration the clip should be in the call. For example, if shot 1 needs a 6-second clip, it specifies 6 seconds when it sends the call for the generation. So that's exactly how long the generated clip will be. If it needs an 8-second clip, it specifies 8 seconds. That's the best part about this whole process. It's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of credits, and a lot of money. Once the video clips are fully generated on Key, Claude will make the requests for all the clips and download every single one onto your computer. The other great thing about using Seedance 2 for this style of animation is that the results almost feel professional. They seem indistinguishable from the real thing. Now, about the cost associated with this. In this case, with Seedance 2, the video was generated at 720p resolution. At that resolution, the cost isn't as high as generating at 2K or 4K. So, if you want something simple that doesn't break the bank, 720p works perfectly and produces some really impressive results. Now that the clips are ready, it's time to put everything together using your favorite video editor. Make sure it's open and then add your voiceover. All you need to do is arrange the clips according to their numbering. Obviously, AI isn't perfect, so there are still a few things you may need to do. In this case, what I'm going to do is split the clip at this point and duplicate it. You get something simple like this. You can add transitions as well if you want to, and maybe some sound effects. Grab as many as you need from Pixabay or directly inside CapCut, because the clips are already timed on their own. You don't really need to make too many changes. So yeah, you can use this to create a full video for your channel.
Every 4 years, the world seems to stop. Billions of people tune in. Cities shut down. Families gather around televisions. For 1 month, football becomes the center of the planet. Then it's gone. Unlike the NBA, the Premier League, or the Champions League, the FIFA World Cup disappears for another 4 years. Which raises a simple question. Why 4? Why not every year? Or every 2 years? Wouldn't more World Cups mean more excitement, more money, and more football? As it turns out, the answer isn't just tradition. It's hidden in the way international football works. The FIFA World Cup isn't just another football competition. It's unlike almost every major sporting event.
Now, before we move on to the second approach, there's one important thing I'd like to tell you. If you're interested in starting a YouTube channel, maybe you've come across a faceless channel or an interesting niche you want to recreate, but you have no idea where to begin, then check out Heclus. Heclus can help you reverse engineer any faceless niche. Not only does it help you come up with topics for your chosen niche, it can help you write engaging scripts in the same style as the channel or a niche you're modeling, then create voiceovers using 11 Labs voices. And if you have a custom voice inside 11 Labs, you can actually use that custom voice as well. Once that's done, it moves on to creating images using the latest models. Then it animates them using Seedance 2, Grok Imagine, Kling 3, Veo 3, and every popular video generation model. Once that's done, you can then continue to generate your final video at your preferred resolution. That's how simple it is to use the application. Heclus will carry you through everything. You don't need to spend days and even weeks struggling to start creating videos in that faceless niche that you've been admiring. Heclus can simplify the entire process, and once that's done, it will even help you come up with thumbnails in a similar style to the niche you're modeling. The best part is that it's highly customizable. You can make changes to every single part of your generation: image and video prompts, thumbnails, visual styles, and more. So, if you want to give it a try, head over to Heclus.com. Sign up for a demo account to get a feel of how the tool actually works. You can also check out this video, where I walk you through the entire process of actually modeling any niche using Heclus. Now, let me show you the second approach to creating the video. You need to start by calling the model again. Repeat the same initial processes as before, except that this time around, you're going to choose SAM 2 layers. Again, choose auto pick for the styles. We're using the same script as before, and it looks like where we previously got 12 beats, this time around it's giving us 10 beats for the script. I'm going to quickly go through this part about the style. Approve or type anything to tell the AI to continue. It'll proceed to generate the prompts. Choose Nano Banana 2 again for the image mode and paste the key API key. For the SAM 2 layer step, it'll ask for your FAL API key. So what you need to do is make sure you sign up for a FAL account. We're going to use this platform called FAL for the SAM 2 part. Once you're on the platform, go to Settings and then API key. Now create and copy your API key. Don't forget to hit Allow if Claude asks for any permissions. Now, what happens is that Claude is going to submit your image prompts to Key. That's the first thing it does once your images have been generated and downloaded. If you look inside the folder, you'll notice we have all the images here. So now that the images are ready, it's time to actually use SAM 2. Obviously, you need to make sure you have some credits in your FAL account. The tool is cheap, but it isn't completely free. What Claude is going to do now is that it's going to send each file to SAM 2, which will then split each file into individual elements. So it'll look for elements inside any images and separate them all inside a single folder. Once the job is complete, it'll put everything into their separate folders. You can open this to see them. If you come here, you'll see there's a folder for each shot, and it splits everything within the shot. That's the advantage of it, except that it can be a bit too detailed, but it does a relatively good job of splitting the elements. So once this is done, the rest is left up to you. Arrange the elements and move them around using keyframes. Unfortunately, the AI is unable to separate everything perfectly, as you can see. But the good news is that, at the very least, you have the key pieces. You may choose to ignore some of the smaller elements. It all depends on you, what you want to add and what you don't want to add. So let's say for this one, you have the background and then you have this element, and you can animate them easily like that. Go to Basic, add a keyframe, then move the element out of frame, then come forward a bit and bring it back onto the scene. When you play it, you get a simple animation. You can even smoothen it out. It's the same with the other cards as well. You can stagger them a bit. So you do this for all the elements in the scene, the ones you want to move, and leave the ones you don't. It all depends on you. Now, like I said, this one is going to take some time. You need to put in the effort to actually create it this way. But the advantage is that you have full control over any elements in your video. You can add a pendulum swing effect, so there's a bit of movement even when nothing is happening. It's all up to you. You get a bit more control over the entire video. So if this is what you want, go ahead and give it a try. The last approach is the one from the demo at the beginning. This one is pretty simple and doesn't require any images at all. Choose this option with the same settings as the first two. Now, Claude will generate detailed time-stamped video prompts. Forward them to the video generator to complete the job. The final results look like these, and the best part is that they align perfectly with the narration. Anyway, I hope this helps you create some badass videos going forward. Thank you, and see you in the next one.